There we go.
Hey, everybody. Today is Saturday, May 11th, 2024. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And you're hanging with Uncle.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. I still like Friday nights better than doing weekend mornings, but, you know, it is what it is.
I'm still waking up.
Right? Right?
It's 11:45 in the morning. Good morning, everybody.
Right.
It's a happy Saturday. First, please hit the like button.
And subscribe button. We're trying to at least get to 1,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm. And also, the notification bell to know whenever you go, or we go live in the future. So you will have that notification. Actually works pretty well, too.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And if you guys noticed, I know we have listened to some constructive criticism, and hopefully this helps.
Yes.
But thank you. I want to say thank you to the missus for buying this light.
Yes.
And I hope it helps and takes some of the shadows off, and we really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. With the change of time, we also had a change in when the sun would be in position in the sky, which is how it works with the rotation of the earth and whatnot, round, not flat. But, yeah, we had some darkness issues. But now we have fixed it.
Yes.
You can see our faces a little bit better
Hopefully,
now.
yes.
Yes, it looks clean to us on our end. So please let us know, because we are very happy to have this light. Honestly, I might turn it still, because I think it's facing a little bit odd, but
I don't know. I definitely see you a lot better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely, you can see me much better. But again, we're happy to improve the show, and we want just more traction and everything, just so we can do that in general. Like more microphones, more setup would be great. But right now,
it is what it is. We're still trying to grow.
It's our civil service.
Help us out.
We're doing. Anyways, we're gonna get into just kind of conversation, just really throughout the week for this one, because there weren't really any major things that happened this week.
Not,
honestly.
you know, I mean, again, I'm sure you've watched the news and you've heard all the professional
No, I have not.
coverage. Oh, okay.
I don't watch the news.
It was an interesting week for the trial. All I can say is, in my opinion, he's fucked. And, but yeah, I just kind of really wanted to talk about our basketball teams, man. You know, the Lakers and the Suns getting rid of their head coaches.
Pretty crazy. First, like the Lakers coach, you said 2-year tenure, right? He was there for 2 years.
He was there 2 years, took them to the Western Conference Finals, and then they lost in the first round this year, and then they got rid of him. So I don't know what the tension was. I mean, he's only taking you to the playoffs. I
think, honestly, with the Suns situation, it was like grab from the bargain bin, and it still kind of is grab from the bargain bin who's available, because there's a lot of good coaches who are available. Yeah. But it's more just like they're just good coaches, like they're decent coaches. They did pick up a new coach. I forget his name.
I don't know. I remember when we talked about when the Suns hired Frank Vogel, and I'm like, I thought it was a bad move.
Yeah, it's not the best. I didn't think it was the best move either. I could have definitely agreed with that. Especially with like his mindset. He was a defensive-minded coach when we had an offensive-minded team. There was no defense reflected at all throughout the season. Like, yeah, they were good defensively on scrappy plays, which made them good in statistics and numbers and whatnot defensively. Yeah. But overall, if a team had two major players on it, they were wiping us. That's the construct of a regular team still. Our team was not a normally built NBA team. We had 3 stars we were trying to run through and filter through and play through. Other teams have an average of 2, and theirs do what they need to do, and they also have a better bench because they're not paying a 3rd star. That's the Suns' issue, I think, at the moment for years to come now.
When I look at it historically, teams that have had a big 3, because Phoenix technically has a big 3 now with KD, Durant, and Beal. Mm-hmm. But traditionally, those big 3 always included a big man, like when you had Magic, Worthy, and Kareem, or Garnett, Pearson, and Allen. Or Bosh, Allen, and LeBron.
It's Budenholzer who they picked up, Mike Budenholzer, the coach who they lost to in the finals against the Bucks. He was also coaching that team. So, I mean, Yeah, again, bargain bin kind of deal. Like, who's available, what's what.
Yeah.
JJ Redick was up for, like, a coach candidate, I guess.
I think their Lakers are considering him, or he wants to be considered.
He's honestly a really smart and intelligent player. But I think, honestly, if they were to hire him, it would be off of, like, friendship bias with LeBron. But, like, that, I mean, it's LeBron. They're going to have a bias towards him anyways, or with him, with whatever decision they make anyways. So,
and these are just our opinions.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your opinions because obviously we're not the GM. We don't have inside knowledge. As fans, this is just how we feel.
The conversation, though, I mean, but I don't know. Normally, I don't know how many of our fans are into basketball, but if you guys have like a basketball background, just watch in general, that'd be great to know. Because we would like to bring it up on occasion for those as well, but. If it's something kind of a dull topic for our fan base, we'll just leave it out of the conversation because we got plenty more.
Yes.
This light is amazing. Like
I know, I like it. I'm in awe.
I'm gonna turn it real quick and see. Oh man, wait. Yeah, it's more direct. It looks a little bit better because my hat had a little bit different. I like this one. Yeah, yeah. But anyways, we're distracted by our nice light. So we also have kind of like a different topic today. We don't normally talk about hip hop on here.
No.
We don't normally talk about music, but it is a major topic that everyone's talking about, and you already can guess, and I'm sure you already know. You're like, oh, they're talking about the Drake and Kendrick thing. Yes, we are talking about the Drake and Kendrick thing. And I actually wanted to bring an old head in on this situation because he has no idea who each other are. He cannot even list either of a song or on top of whichever. I even asked him. He's like, I don't know if it's a Drake song you're playing or not.
So, all right. Here, I will say this, man.
Yeah.
If I look at a picture of Drake, I know who that is.
Yeah.
If I'm listening to his music, I have no clue who he is. Kendrick Lamar, you could show me his picture and I wouldn't know who he is. But when we listen to the music, I do like hip hop.
Yes.
And I guess let's put this, in perspective. What's at the top of this conversation? Mm-hmm. It's all about idol worship.
The backstory of it.
Yeah.
The curve of the story. Yeah. So overall, it's like a Drake and Kendrick back and forth. And Drake is bringing out like factual information that we know from headlines and stuff like that. Kendrick's bringing out things that are like allegations, so like kind of like factual things that come with it. We try to look for receipts here. I think that's how it's kind of is for hip hop, right? You need receipts on the stuff that you're spitting,
right?
So I mean,
right.
A lot of people say, well, it's online. I mean, like, but yeah, it's online, but like, where's the following of that? Like everything else, like,
do I care enough to go look at a beef between that two people are having that really makes no difference to my pocketbook?
I mean, but that's kind of like the different. That's what hip hop is, though. They're like followership, right?
Yeah,
overall.
Old head.
Like now, it's like Twitter beef and like throwing out allegations and blah blah blah, and like fans have to go find the receipts because the artists aren't going to drop it now, so they're going to rely on you to do that, and everyone just like goes and tries to find their own information instead of having the information, the background, the actual ammo and the weapon that you're using, instead of using the population that you have behind you, your followership, right? Yeah. So that's where we're gonna get to is the power of followership with idolism is huge,
right? Because I mean, I have a question, and maybe it's a silly question, but just to kick this off, how many followers did R. Kelly lose?
A lot.
So
you don't hear his voice often. His power is definitely fallen, but that's kind of the idea. It's like, is it money or is it the numbers of followers, the followership that makes the power that they have?
I think it gives them the power to think they have the support of X amount of people. Mm-hmm. Like me, I've just enjoyed the conversation, kind of like watching Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
It's just about the conversation that they're having. It's not about listening to who's dissing who or anything like that, but about where you come from, what made you who you are.
Yeah.
What are you doing, with the success that you had, that kind of stuff. And, that interests me.
Now, to kind of back it up as well, it is kind of sounding like we're speaking against our own premise, which is not the case. we actually go and get our stuff off of resource first and find the facts first off of website and also off of source before we talk about it. And obviously the beef is literally a real thing that's happening. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, we talk about things that are actually happening, that have actually happened, so you can go find those sources, because we know those sources exist because we pull them from those sources. We are not trying to talk against our own motto here.
No.
What we're trying to say is, like, people just saying things, contemplation, pointing fingers, accusations without having that backing. Correct. It's something different. That's not what we do here. We don't accuse people and point fingers.
Or I think even more importantly, like, say, for example, let's just use Drake and Kendrick, right? You like both of them. Oh my God, now do I stop liking the other one because I like this guy so much more?
Do I just stop listening to music on the
right?
whole?
I mean, just like,
oh my God.
wake up, people, grow up, become an adult. And if they want to have a public beef, remember, that's between them. It doesn't include the rest of us.
I mean, it kind of does in a way too, though, because they want to know who won, who did the best, and whatever, who won the beef, right? But in theory, it's just like, I think it's just an overall just followership versus followership, just bumping heads with each other.
Yeah,
because what they both represent, right? And Drake is like the literal epitome of an industry plant, right? Like through TV,
he's commercialized,
acting, yeah, and then just like moving into rap because he had that backing. And then I'm gonna be honest, and Kendrick does say this, and this is actually not necessarily a true statement, but this is a statement I would say that he follows, is like to use his backing as his stance of what he is now versus what he was. It's not the difference. He plays two different characters, but in theory, hip hop is also a theatrical thing as well, so you can portray it, right? You're not necessarily a thug, but you can make thug music, right? So it's like it can be portrayed. That's the art of the game, right? That's it. It's the art of hip hop. But then Kendrick, on his hand, is that he has great lyricism, great flows, great artistry, but also he kind of has this like Black Messiah, like followership kind of weird vibe, like follow me and I am the way kind of deal.
That idol shit.
Yeah, which I'm like, I don't really vibe with that either. I mean, people actually like hop ship of their beliefs and change their beliefs because of him. It's like, it's really, really weird to me.
So, okay, I'll bring in an old head perspective.
Okay.
Because, you know, I was a child of the 60s and 70s and grew up in that musical era.
Yes.
You know, like the Beatles, the Who, Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin.
But you also were like
the Motown sound.
You were a Compton Cop in the NWA era. And
right?
You just know.
So, I mean, you know, to me, it's like when I look at, okay, I'm a Doors fan. Oh my God, but now look what happened to Jim Morrison. Oh my God, I'm a Jimi Hendrix fan, but, you know, look what happened to Jimi Hendrix. You know, it's like I can enjoy the music, but I'm older now. I have more important things to pay attention to.
You don't have to really go into the back.
Right. So when we're listening to music, I'm enjoying the music. Don't ask me who it is.
I think like the older you get, the more you understand that you enjoy, the more music takes you away from reality versus the reality of music. Like, yes, Rage Against the Machine, like, for example, had like a huge stance and whatever, and like anarchy and blah 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 and uprise and all that nonsense, right? But like overall in general, are people doing that on the streets right now? Well, certain things, yes, situations, ignore that. But like what I mean is like, are Rage fans going and raging everywhere? No, they're not. They're listening to it in their car on their way home after work to get some stress out. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm
not going to take a detour. This is a dead-end street, and I'm making a U-turn, and we're going to get back on track.
Yes.
But, you know, you talk about protests, and look at all the protests going on about, you know, between Palestine and Israel.
Yeah.
But
that's a real-life thing, though.
It's also a real-life thing what's happening in the Sudan, with people starving and the internal strife going on there, and what people are going through, and were the protests about that.
Yeah, and people speak, like, there are some artists who speak out on things too, you know, and some people expect them to for some reason. I don't know why you would really need them to. They don't have to. It's their job they're doing. You don't have to really portray how you stand with your job, but people expect them to. Like, why is Beyonce not talking about Ukraine? We talked about that
she
before.
Doesn't
Who
want
gives a
to,
shit?
right?
Who cares? What's your opinion on it, and what's your stance, and what are you going to vote about it in the voters box? But anyways, it's like idolism in a whole has taken over and has a lot of power behind it. And the number of followership that you have portrays your power as well. Like you just said with the R. Kelly thing, he fell off, right? Yeah, he fell off because he doesn't have a lot of followers anymore. People don't follow
He's
him
in
because
jail.
of what he did. I mean, if people will follow him still, basically, I mean, oh, I don't believe what he did, and like just like the Orange Man. But it's like, it's like still like, oh yeah, ew, R. Kelly, never mind, we're not going to listen to him anymore.
Yeah.
Like it literally is that way. It's not it's necessarily the herd mentality. But like that's gross. We don't like that.
Yeah. I just think that you're right. We need to think for ourselves. We need to get our own information and make informed decisions instead of only listening to what you want to hear. Mm-hmm. And I think that's very dangerous.
But to circle back to where I was going from with like being an adult now, like yes, I understand like there's music that portrays certain things and represents certain things or whatever. And if I want to go and feel that way and need to, I'm going to go listen to it, right? But right now, music takes me away from reality. And I think that's what a lot of people now these days want music to be, instead of like I got real life job going on, and then going home and listening to job music, like I don't want to do that. Like I want to go home and listen to something that's like not real and fictional and whichever, and like just portrays in satire and all the nonsense. Like, I like poetic stuff, stories. But anyways, that's what this whole beef is about now. It's just who has the best power, who has the most followership, because they don't really care about the facts right now. Like people are just pointing at like accusations and stuff, but bottom line, it's like rap used to be about facts.
I think the biggest collapse is going to be when the Mango Maniac is convicted and is put in jail and does not, like R. Kelly, does not have access to a cell phone to do tweets or extremely limited access when he has library time.
Yeah.
To realize that your hero is a liar, a cheat, a fraud, a scam artist. I mean, he's self-absorbed. When you learn that, how far does it, does your idol fall? Because I learned one thing, and you've heard me say this, man. I learned it my first year in law school. Everyone has a ladder. Everyone will get to the top of their ladder. And nobody ever stays at the top forever. Eventually, you'll come down, How you treat people on your way up the ladder will relate to how you're treated coming down the ladder. And I think you see that in the vitriol for what's going on with Cadet Bone Spurs.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, because that's literally where kind of like how humans work, socializing, right? Because like I come and introduce and meet myself with you, right? We start on a line here, and then based on how our interaction goes, you're either here or here. Based on like, oh, do I want to talk to that guy again or not?
Yeah.
But like that's kind of like human interaction. But overall, it's just the politics, power, followership, all the nonsense, idolism that's going on in our world is basically the issue that I'm seeing. And as soon as that dies away and it goes away,
keep it about change. The issue, not the people.
Keep it about the topic, for sure.
All right, we'll move on.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mother's Day is around the corner if you didn't know.
Tomorrow.
Yes. So go get what you need if you can afford it. But if you don't, you're very close to your woman, and you hope they understand, and you have talked with them already about budgeting and how they'll get their present the next time we get paid. That's not me doing it now. But
so, and if you're like me, my mom passed away. She's no longer with us.
Yes.
And that was back in 2008. But there's an Ed Sheeran song. Grocery Store Flowers, I think is the name of it.
Okay.
Man, it's like he followed us around in my childhood and wrote that song about my mother. You know, it's just, it hits.
Yeah.
Right there.
I totally get that. A lot of songs that have that deep feeling.
Yeah.
River of Dreams, Billy Joel
Right.
for me. Yeah, that's one. That's a deep one. But yeah, happy Mother's Day to my mothers and my family as well. My mom and also the girl of my dreams in my life. I love you, baby. I'm just kidding. No, not really kidding. But
Yes.
more or less, just I love you dearly, both of you, and happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
We'll definitely celebrate it tomorrow in the morning. Make them breakfast. That's the goal. That's
Definitely.
the gift.
We're going to the movies tomorrow. We're going to go see the new Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, cool. Let me know how that goes because
Okay.
it seems interesting.
You know, I've liked the new ones with Andy Serkis, you know, the guy who played Gollum. I like him as Caesar, the head of the ape clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did Toad in X-Men, didn't he? Also,
Yes.
he did. I remember. Yeah, he's actually honestly he's really good. He's really good at his acting. I like his.
He also played Alfred in the last Batman.
He did. I didn't pay attention to that. He did. Wow. I have to rewatch that. He did. I'm so bad with artists and with actors and everything. I'm not good with faces and names real well. Can't do it real good, sir. Let's get into our dumbass of the week because I feel like we can get into our topics.
I think we got
one
more topic. I think, don't we? Did we already talk about it?
Yeah, we already talked about all these things. That's my dumbass of the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up then. Go ahead.
No. That's my dumbass of the week. So Blizzard is my dumbass of the week. It actually happened a little bit ago, but it was long story. So Christy Golden's one of my favorite authors that writes some of the books for them for World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and even did some like really deep interactions with like their games. I'll bring those up later on. But she recently announced that she got fired back in January by them when she was a part of their storyboard team, the team that would make the story and produce it and everything. She wrote multiple novels. She actually even won a New York Times bestseller in some of her novels as well. One of her most recent ones as well, about Sylvanas, who is a character in World of Warcraft. But she also wrote multiple characters in World of Warcraft as well. Like Anduin is one. I know she has a lot of hands in on his creation, but also not only Anduin, but a few other characters that follow along. But you can go and find that out. You can look at her bio and it's there. But also she wrote a lot of things in Diablo and StarCraft as well.
I love playing Diablo.
Yes, Diablo is actually really. I know it's a pretty big popular game as well, but overall, she did a lot of things within the Blizzard community. But with layoffs happening within the Blizzard Entertainment company, she was one of those that they laid off, which I'm also really sad about because she, again, one of my favorite authors in the whole Blizzard universe, or the World of Warcraft universe. She does write StarCraft stuff and all that, but she does write the best stories out of all of them, I would say. And she does have a few that are coming out still, which I'm happy about. Hopefully she's just still like a freelance author and they hire her that way.
Yeah.
Still and have her write the stories that way. But I liked having her be in the creation of the characters. I feel like she brought more character building in the stories. I know she came in at a bad time when the story was kind of like being reconstructed too. They needed people to come in and make the story, and she was one that they brought in, and they were trying to pick something up that was a smoldering fire to make something.
Yeah. And she did it.
They made it, like they're here where they are now with the game, but it did lose its popularity within those times. It's not in relation or correlation to things that she had done, I would say. Some of the things that she had done were really positive things. But overall, Blizzard Entertainment got my dumbass of the week because they fired one of my favorite authors.
I can tell you this, man. I actually talked to my son.
Yeah.
My little buddy. And he is boycotting Blizzard because of this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything Blizzard, he's no longer... You've lost him as a client.
That's interesting. I mean, the things that I still play WoW. I'm still buying books, but those are the major things that I do. I don't give them any extra dime than what I have been already in support of the things that I still love and care about. Those are still being produced and done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, they're laying people off, but it's still not to give it any excuse, because the things that they have done to people, I've brought it to light and talked against it and everything, and they have changed that. That's the idea. But with layoffs, I mean, they're not the only company that is providing layoffs and doing layoffs within the entertainment industry itself. There's plenty of others that are going through it at the moment, and plenty of others who are doing way worse at the moment. Now, the word Blizzard is throwing the dirt into the hole and rebuilding right now. Sony is in a hellhole at the moment. I don't know if you know what's going on with them and what they have done with a major game. They had a huge followership, and now a lot of people aren't playing anymore. Their stock has plummeted too as well, like $20. It went from 70 to like 60, 50. Yeah, it's down. But in theory, I mean, props to you for protesting. I mean, not talking against it. I mean, I think it's a wonderful thing to protest, but with like the, I don't know, the things that still fulfill my day, like I still need. I'm trying to finish her book still. I buy her books in support of her, not necessarily in support of Blizzard. If you think about it, I'm still there for the story. I've been along for the story since the beginning, so it's like.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know how the storyline...
That's like you stopping Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know, some people have with the things that she has said and done, but also a lot of people have brought up the excuse of like, well, it is kind of like something that I grew off of and it's hard to. That's like protesting Pokemon. Like,
you know,
that's hard.
I mean, I have boycotted other things.
Mm-hmm.
That has not been one of them.
I mean, it's hard sometimes. You gotta pick your poisons and the things that you do in life. I mean, I'm not full front support of Blizzard. Like, yeah, I'm definitely against the things that they do that are negative, and I speak against it. That's just like Asmongold. You can't say Asmongold is for or against Blizzard. He's either or, because he uses the company for clout, but also plays the games, and also talks about the game all the time. So obviously, he wants the game to get better. It's kind of like how I am too, but I actually play the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyways.
Moving on.
So, you would think that my obvious dumbass would be Kristi Nolan, the Republican governor of South Dakota, who has been bragging about shooting her dog and doubled down on it instead of, showing some kind of remorse. I listened to a clip of her audiobook that says, I mean, and you could hear the hatred in her voice, how she hated that dog.
My first time hearing about it.
But I'm just saying, man, and she's
heard that.
supposed to be a candidate for vice president for Cadet Bone Spurs. But now she's falling favor fast after this.
Okay.
My dumbass of the week is Republican Governor Rick Scott of Florida, who, after the gag order was put in place, and they threatened him, like, look, dude, obviously these financial sanctions aren't enough to deter you, so I'm going to put you in jail the next time you violate this gag order. And so what he did, instead of him saying something,
he violated the gag order.
He had Rick Scott miss a vote in Washington, D.C., a vote on the floor, and cow down to him. You can have both of them.
Okay.
To cow down to him, to show his support and say how wrong this trial is. And I'm just like, dude, you lowered yourself that much for this scum.
It's that idolship.
That again, idol worship.
Yeah,
man.
I'm kissing them
it's
toes.
Like, you're an elected official, dude. You have a voice of your own. You don't have to do what he tells you to do. You can listen to the people and vote on behalf of the people. That dude isn't worth the paper his money is printed on.
Oh, jeez. The paper his money is printed on.
Yes, I went usual suspect.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, rightfully earned, honestly. I mean,
So,
both of those get kind of a dumbass of the week.
They are. Hers is obvious, but Rick Scott, I mean,
Yeah.
he's been flying under the radar. And,
We'll do a third place.
you
in this
know,
one.
yeah. And I think he's up for re-election this November. I think he is. I don't know.
Obviously not worth voting
you
for.
know,
Yeah.
in my opinion, like, wow, dude, you know, how much of an invertebrate do you have to show that you are? You're a dumbass.
That's really stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the show.
Yes.
We are back on track next week on Fridays like normal. Gene got a promotion. Yeah. So we're going to have our schedule back in order. We may be a little bit more tired because we'll both be working men coming in on the show on Fridays, but we will definitely be back on our regular Friday schedule. We still have our light, though. I'm so thankful that we have it. It'll probably look super good at nighttime.
I think
later
so.
in the day.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
And remember, be kind to one another.
And pay yourself.
And treat each other the way you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
And pay yourself.
I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
It's been Hanging with Uncle.
And